Hello everyone, this is Bbeltdan and welcome back to Blender, where in this series I am completely constructing a Daedalus, still can't pronounce the thing. I don't know if I'm still pronouncing it correctly, but I'm constructing the whole thing, not only the exterior, but also the interiors as well. Done a little bit of work since the last episode, so I'm going to go ahead and jump in. Let me expand this a little bit. Press P to start my game engine here and take a look around. First thing you might notice is that the edges are a little bit sharper. I've went around on the web trying to figure out the best way to get it to where I could sharpen the edges so it wasn't looking all wonky like it did last time. And I ended up finding out that there is a modifier that you can apply to this that would immediately start sharpening out those edges. And what that does is it actually splits a lot of the edges on anywhere where there is a an angle that is greater than the one that is set into it. Couple of good things about doing that, couple of bad things about doing that, but I think that's what we're going to have to probably deal with, given uh, the way that the Blender game render engine works. I've also went ahead and changed the steps to, instead of double wide, they're just one wide, so only one person can walk up and down them at a time. But I did that so in this second section here, I have a hallway which is slightly smaller, but it's still two-person wide, and we could see that with here. I have two of our, you know, uh, dummy NPCs right here. They don't have no AI, but they are roughly about the height of a 6-foot man, or 6-foot person, I should say. Sorry about that. 6-foot person, and they can fit in the hallway. So this hallway is two-person wide. So you can have a stairs that leads up to deck one, and they can go down, and people can go around the steps, and the steps to go down to deck two is going to be down here. Only thing about the way that the hallway is structured is that this elevator here that is utilized for people if they need to traverse uh, decks a little bit more directly and quickly, it takes up the whole hallway. So if you're navigating the hallway, it's not a complete, doesn't go completely around the ship. It'll probably be, you get to here, and then there's, a little quarantine area to where, or not quarantine, but a little blockade that basically telling you don't progress any further unless you're going into the elevator. Same thing here. So this space, you don't just walk through, you stop, go in the elevator. If you don't want to go on the elevator, you just go the other way. Also got some walls on deck two, uh, to kind of start planning ahead about what all we want in here. So here we have these walls here, and you can see there's a lot of available space into here. I could probably split these up into almost 3 different rooms on each side, so 6 rooms. What rooms those are going to be, I don't know. Now, here's the one thing that I'm trying to figure out. Currently, right now, I have the hallway here. But here we have all the windows, and I don't know if I want these. Oh, okay, that's because that wall, this hasn't gone all the way up to there. Okay, I don't know yet if I want to make it to where these windows are exterior windows that are tied to rooms, or do I want this to actually be the hallway, which means I would need to move these stairs over a little bit, but have this be the hallway that people can use to get to different parts of the ship. I like the idea of this, um, just having this view as people are walking down hallways, almost kind of like, the promenade from DS9. I like that, but at the same time, it just seems like it would be a little bit more, especially if this deck is for senior officers. for them to actually have windows so they can look out. So the two options I'm looking at is either uh, this could be the hallway, and all of this interior section is rooms and offices or what have you. Or the second option is that keep it as the way it is, and these areas here could be used for the senior officers' quarters and meeting rooms. I like one of these to be kind of like the officers' meeting or mess hall. They can look either look back and see the ship flying through space. Think back to the motion picture where you see where Kirk and Spock and McCoy are talking, and you see the back part of the ships. Um, think that. And the front portion of the ship, whoops, we got to go this way, would be where the captains and senior first commanders and senior officers and stuff would be, staying at. So there would be doors going to individual rooms. Like I think this, no, that's not the front of the ship. I think this is dead front. So like this would be captain's quarters. This would be his first officer's quarters. Then these two windows would be to like, another commander's, second officer, second commander's quarters, and one over here. You get the idea. The entire front part of the ship would be officers' quarters, and once we get back to here, I don't know, maybe like off senior officers' mess hall, dining banquets or what have you, and then meeting rooms. But da da da. I'm going to try to figure that all out. But in this episode, we are going to be mostly working on how the bridge is going to be laid out. I said in the last episode that I was going to draw out several plans, and I did, but then I kind of had an idea rather than me just showing you what the different designs is. I'm going to take advantage of some of the features in Blender, and we're going to draw out the deck plan actually on the bridge here. So I could draw out where I would like to put things and then have my avatar within the game engine move around and take a look and see. It's like, okay, well, here's where this is at, here's where this is at, so on and so forth. So let me go ahead and jump out real quick and start setting up some stuff, and I'll be right back. Okay, and to get back into the nitty gritty of things, I went ahead and done some, you might say, optimizing to a certain degree. I went ahead and separated some of this mesh into more manageable parts, so therefore when I'm working on one I can hide it. If I need to, I can combine them all together into a single mesh, but right now it's like this is a separate mesh, this is a separate mesh, so I could just press H and hide it and be able to work on individual sections, such as even the bottom portion. I can hide that as well. So done that. A little bit of other work off screen, but we'll take a look at that in a minute. But let's go ahead and get right into drawing out a deck layout or a bridge layout. And we're going to do this in real time. If you're not too familiar with it, Blender does have a ability to texture paint. So you could paint on the fly on the texture. So if you're not very good at texturing in Photoshop and all that type of stuff, you could still do that within Blender. So let's take a look at that. Now I'm still kind of new to this, but I figured out how to really kind of get this going. So this will be a little bit of a tutorial, but I'm going to go ahead and bring it up to the top view here. And also I'm thinking about, I've seen people in tutorials have it to where I think Blender auto generates clicks. It's like if I press a button, it shows you somewhere here what buttons I'm pressing. Let me know if y'all would like to probably see that on not just this tutorial, but additional tutorials as well. But moving right along. So what we need to do is we need to go into materials here and create a material, which I already did. It's called Bridge Plan. And then we go into texture and we create a new texture. Now, we don't have a texture assigned to that yet. Well, actually, I do. It's Bridge Plan 3. And to get that, you go into a UV image editor, click on this button right here to create a new image. Tell it what size image you want, give it a name. What color do you want the background to be? I don't want this to be an alpha. If you do, you can click on alpha, 32-bit float, or you can auto-generate like a color grid, UV grid, and stuff like that. That helps out when you're UV texturing. But I've already went ahead and created one. As we can see here, it's Bridge Plan 3. Why it's 3 is you'll see in a minute. Well, okay, I'll go ahead and tell you. I've already went ahead and done 2 bridge plans, but before we do look at those, let's take a look at the third idea for a bridge plan that I got. But once you get that all, then you go down to texture here and you go over to where it says image and select the image that you want to draw on. Now, once you're ready to start drawing, you go over to here, go to texture paint. And as you can see over here, it's already set up. Now, I did go in and set up a UV map on just the floor and the captain center console area, and I just did a UV unwrap from top from projection, so it just gives me exactly what I'm looking at here. Optionally, you can go in to your render and tell that you want to, is it texture or material? Oh wait, no, it is solid. I'm sorry. It is solid. Now, once you're over to here, make sure that you are in paint, not view, but paint. Whoops. And now you have here the ability to do brushes. You could choose your radius, how much strength. Strength, basically think of like if it's at 0.5, it will give a kind of a grayish tone, which means that it's 50%. 50% of the pixels in this area is black, and the other 50% is still the background. And as you can see, as I drew here, it's showing up over here. So I'm drawing on the texture in real time, and this is showing me what it looks like. So let me go ahead and Control C all of those. And so with this, I can go ahead and draw out the deck plan and try to figure out exactly how I want everything to go. And then I can go into 3D mode and see what it all looks like. Now, of course, I've already decided that the captain's chair is going to be here. So I'm going to kind of draw a rudimentary image of a captain's chair. Now, the next important thing that I want to put in is going to be, we have, now in the original series, there's a center console here where on one side you have navigations and the other side you have helm control. Let's go ahead and somewhat, I'm going to try this. I'm going to have it off-centered but still facing the view screen. And oops, let's go, what would make more, yeah, I think this would make more sense. 1, 2, 3, there we go. And then we have a little chair here, and this right here would be the helm. Of course, helm control being the one that pilots the ship. Now we're going to have navigation. It's the person that sets the coordinates and tells helm that go to this heading, and this heading, and be sure to take a detour at this location because there's a star that's going supernova, and so there's a gravitational pull, and we need to, blah 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 blah. So I'm going to put, I'm going to put him over here. So there's somewhat, and this is not real to life, it's just kind of a deck play out. This is nav. Actually, let me do this and you'll see, whoops, you'll see why in a minute. I'm going to have, I know it's going to look kind of maybe awkward, but what I want to do is I want to put navigations over here to where this piece is pointing this way, because right here, not between him and the captain, but right here would be kind of another console with a big screen uh, that might have real-time view of the space of whatever space that they're in, so he can look inside. You've seen it in some episodes on bridges. I know you've seen it in the JJ Prize where there's like this big old plastic or glass screen, view screen kind of in the middle. That I want to have right there for the navigation, so he can access his computer here, but he can also see in real time where their ship is in space at any point in time here. So I'm going to do, so I don't want it between him and the captain. I want it to be over here. So we're going to do that. So this here, that's his nav. Uh, this is like his plotting table, and this right here is his station. All right, so we got that. Right about here is the captain's doorway. I think it might actually be a little bit there. Now we need to have tactical, and I liked where they had it in the refit bridge of in the motion picture where it was kind of off to the side. So I'm going to put tactical right there. Now, and he's right there. He can still see the view screen, but he mostly is paying attention to his particular type of deals. His deal here. I'm going to put kind of an empty space here for for some spare stations. Now we got all this space here. Communications. Let's go ahead and put communications here. Com. If this was the Enterprise, this is where Uhura is sitting, right there. I like that. I think right here is the main doorway. I might move this around, and once we get in and see, where everything is in space, we might see it's like, oh, we got some more. Um, we can make this bigger and all that kind of stuff. Now let's go ahead and put the science station or sensors and science right in its usual spot. This is where Spock would be sitting at. Actually, I think was it her sitting here and Spock was sitting here? I think. Oh well, I'm just going to do this. All right, so that's kind of a quick little layout. So let's go ahead and go back into 3D mode. Go in object mode. Oops. Let's go into our camera. Bring in some additional. Oops. Need to put that into. Material. What else do I need? I need that. Let's see. And no. Why? There it goes. Wait. Hold up. Why are you not showing me anything? Come on. You did it before. What happened? I don't think I have to go to texture mode, do I? No. Okay. Something's going on. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can figure it out. Oh, okay. Figured it out. I had this unchecked right there. There we go. Now you can see it. There we go. So let's go ahead and jump in. And actually, let me make this a little bit bigger so we can all take a look-see. And here we go. So if the captain was sitting here, he has a decent little look to the view screen. I wasn't too far off where that door is at. So over here, he can talk to navigations, and he could be sitting here, and he could have his station here, and the big old, piece of plexiglass right here with another computer station there. It's free from that, so he wouldn't be this wouldn't be interfering with him too much, because people would be usually jumping in this way or this way. Actually, well, I had to make it a little bit wider, but they'd be entering in probably that way. Yeah, that way right there to get in. We have helm control. He's there. He can see the view screen. It looks a little bit annoying when the captain just comes straight out because he can't go straight to his chair, but um, we have different options. So we got tactical control right here. So he's sitting right there. We can move it a little bit farther that way. He can see the view screen. He can talk to the captain. Communications is right there. Um, it almost makes sense to have him facing that way, and it definitely makes sense from a filming standpoint, because a lot of the times Ahura was kind of talking facing this way, rather than looking at her console. She was always facing this way to face the screen. But this isn't in a movie or a series or anything like that, so I'm going to go more practical. So the communications comm officer is looking at their their screen over here. Science stations. I may probably put some more stuff sticking out here, because science is would also be sensors and you know and all that other type of stuff. And then here and on that other side would be two additional consoles, which are set up for standby use, that could be used for either, depending on the missions. If if you need engineering up here, they could be up there. If you need an additional science officer up here, they could be using it, so on and so forth. So yeah, that's one of the options. Um, I kind of like it. I like, except I don't like, you know, I don't know how that would look once I render these things in 3D. If that's going to be, it kind of messes a little bit with my obsessive compulsive, or the little bit of obsessive compulsive behavior that I might have messes with it. But I think that would work. But let's go ahead and jump out. Let's take a look at the other options. Let's start off with deck plan 1. Oh, oops. You know what? Okay. Hold up. Need to go into here. Do I need to do this? Maybe. Wait. Wait. What? What? Hold up here. Mm, okay. Give me 1 second. I'll be okay. I think I made an oopsie. I'm not 100% positive. Uh, but I think I was supposed to save those deck plans. Yeah. Yeah, I think I was supposed to save those as a different image. I thought that because it was made in Blender, Blender would have saved it already. But I mean, because it saves the reference, but it didn't save the image that I did. So, okay, so I spent that time doing 2 additional deck plans for nothing. Yeah, with that, I think we're going to go ahead and stick with Bridge Plan 3, but I'm going to be making some adjustments while I'm doing it in 3D, because when I'm drawing, I may look at it and think, no, I don't like that. I don't like that. That's why I want to go ahead and do it in 3D. So let me go ahead and jump out, and let me see how much time I got. If I have time, I'll show you real quick in this video what it looks like before we leave. If not, then we'll look at it in the next episode. So give me a minute and let me see what I can do. And everybody, after just a couple of quick little hour or two of some modeling, I went ahead and got the layout of the bridge done. A couple little things I need to do. As we can see, these areas I need to give them some sharp edges, which is pretty simple to do. Uh, but yeah, this is the bridge right here. And now this is only just a temporary outline, temporary layout. This can and is subject to do some for change. And of course, obviously, a lot of the details are missing. I mean, some screens, lights, and all that type of stuff still needs to be put on. But the purpose of this is just to get the basic layout of the bridge. We'll give you the nickel and dime tour real quick. Obviously, this here is the captain's chair where he sits in. It's going to be kind of a hybrid between the uh, the captain's chair from the original series and from Enterprise, or think of like the original series but a little bit of an older model. And then you have a clear shot from the view screen, so if they are talking to somebody and they have the video on the view screen, the captain can see directly and they can see the captain directly without anybody in the way. He can move up to the view screen, because once again the view screen is also going to be used not just to view things that's going on outside the ship, but also to project uh, other type of data on the screen. So sometimes the captain, first commander, and other people might want to be coming up to the view screen and kind of using it as a billboard, or something of that particular type of nature. So anyways, over here we have the helm control. As we could see, he could sit right there and he could view the view screen, but he can also go over and look in this direction and talk to the person in navigation. As of right now, the navigation control will look pretty much the similar. Well, in basic shape, it looks similar, but he has this little nifty area here where he can look at and plot courses and stuff. We'll go a little more detail about that as we go, but he can input his coordinates and calculations and all that type of stuff, pull up data here, and here he can plot the course, and once he gets the course of the destination of where they're going to be heading, then he can send that over to the helm. Over here we have tactical control. Once again, he can look directly at the captain, get the orders, see the view screen, so on and so forth. Also, tactical control is the master of arms, which is why you can be in a closer proximity to the captain. Right behind him is communications, and right here is a auxiliary station. On this side's another auxiliary station, and here we have the science station, science officer sensor stations. It can be manned by one person or two people if they are doing exploration and not military battle. Also, this particular uh, deal here can also be an auxiliary stationed as well. So that's pretty much about it. So from here, I may do a little bit of tweaking of the basic shape and design, maybe some placement like this here. I'm going to pull this out. I need to shrink everything down probably about by, 20%, 10%, maybe 20%, because I think the scale's off a little bit. But other than that, let's take a look at the bridge from up here. As we can see, yeah, people that are up here can definitely look down and see the captain. The captain can see them. I also went ahead and added two new windows so they can look out and see what's directly in front of the ship and what is directly behind the ship. This guy is in the way. But that is the bridge layout. Not going to talk too much about it right now. For one, I think I may be coming down with something. If my voice sounds a little bit different than what it did in earlier episodes, I apologize. But also, I think this episode's running a little bit long, but at least we got the idea. So I'm going to be working on a lot of the details off screen. So when I kick back in on the next episode, a lot of this should be, pretty much not done, but fleshed out. But let me know what y'all probably think. Do y'all have any suggestions on how some of this might probably go? Keep in mind, I want this to be, think about a couple of steps down from the original series bridge as far as, um, looking old fashioned. I mean, it's not going to be clean lines. It's like, between here and here, there's going to be, actual conduits that you'll be seeing going from here to here. I mean, it'd be somewhat cleaned up, but at the same time, it's it's not going to have two clean lines. I don't think the Federation at this time is still about, trying to make all their ships look like Cadillacs. It's going to look more kind of like, an 18 wheeler type truck, or, at least, you know, um, a work, a ranch type truck or something like that, not a Cadillac. But anyways, with that being said, hope you like it. Leave any comments or suggestions that y'all may probably have. We still got a lot of this ship to go. We still got the whole all of this to finish. We got all this empty space that we need to see if we can use. I need to fix that. That is just some rendering issues. We got, I mean, the whole ship to go ahead and try to finish. Can I do this? Yep, I can definitely. Oh, I forgot to have the nacelles in there. But yeah, we got the whole ship that we need to go ahead and finish and everything. So with that being said, this is Bbeltdan. This is the Daedalus class ship in Blender. I want to say thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.